Hello, my most amazing artists. Let me just start off by saying I have missed you guys a lot. This has all been really, really weird, really, really difficult. And if I could just go back to work and be at school with you guys, even if all this was going on, that would be such a blessing. But we can't. So we are just gonna have to do it a little bit differently. My name is Jamie Evans. You can call me Mrs. Evans because I am a teacher. This is my first YouTube video. I have never done this, so just bear with me. There's probably gonna be some learning curves. You're seeing my home studio, which you guys have never seen, which is pretty cool. I'll give you a studio tour video later when I can kind of clean some of it up. Anyway, we're gonna start today by talking about materials. And every artist will say you can't make art without materials. Some artists think that you need really expensive or really hard to find materials, but you really don't. You just need something to be creative with. So I went around my house and I shopped. I shopped my house, and please ask your parents before you do this. You don't want to take their office supplies they might be using for work. Shop your house. Go around and find things to make art with. You would be surprised at what you can find. If your recycling bin is pretty clean, there's a ton of wonderful things in there you can make art with. So with that being said, we are gonna get started. I'm gonna flip the phone around and show you some things that I found at my house to make art with. And keep in mind, I have not been able to go to my classroom to get any of my art supplies. I also did not want to trot out the expensive art supplies I own because I know you guys don't have those. I didn't have those things until I was an adult, so we're not gonna make art with those. That would be ridiculous. So here we go, let's go shopping. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I found was a messy mat. So this is just an old file folder. It's got some crud on it. I want to protect my table. So I'm just gonna open this up, lay it down, and ta-da! If I get my paper really wet, it's not gonna hurt my table. The next thing every artist needs is something to make art on. So that's paper. So I found a package of just regular old copy paper. It doesn't have to be special. It doesn't have to be a certain color. Just regular old copy paper will be fine. If you don't have access to copy paper, some alternatives are notebook paper. Lined notebook paper is wonderful. I used it for years to draw, and I wouldn't draw on anything else. You can also cut up cereal boxes and draw on the inside of them. Things that you find in your recycle bin you can draw on. Junk mail, the backs of letters that you get in the mail that are junk mail that don't have any print on them, you can use those. You can make tons of art out of trash, guys. All right, now let's talk about things to make art with. So I've got paper and I've got a ballpoint pen. This is just a cheap Papermate pen. I found it in the car, in the console of the car. If your pen is not working, keep doodling with it, because a lot of times if it's new, it'll have a little tiny ball of wax right here. You might have to like pick that off to keep it from drying out. You can make art with this. I also found a pencil. You need a pencil. That way you can erase. Erasing's my favorite. Speaking of, I do have an eraser. I found an eraser. So there's your things you need to draw. Pretty easy stuff. You'll need a pencil sharpener if you have a pencil. I just have this one from Prismacolor to sharpen my colored pencils, but you can use just a regular pencil sharpener. It doesn't have to be fancy. Okay, let's move on to other media. Now, I know everybody at school has crayons. I have crayons in the classroom, you have crayons in the classroom. However, I don't have any crayons at my house for some reason, but I did find this really, really old set of crayons from when my son was in pre-K. So we're gonna use these. That's what I got. You know, that's the whole point of this game, using what you have. These are really large crayons, but they come in lots of different colors, which is great. And yeah, they don't smell that great, but that's how crayons roll, right? Okay. Then I have a box of watercolors. I don't have the watercolors we use in our art room. I can't get to my classroom right now. Hopefully I can get some of those later, and also can't get to the store and get any. But these are student grade watercolors that I've had for a really, really long time. I usually let my kids use them. Oops. So if you just have some watercolors from Walmart, just even the washable Crayola watercolors, if you can find ones that aren't washable, I would get those, because the washable ones don't seem to have enough pigment in them. They're very, very light, whereas the ones that are not washable have a lot more pigment, a lot more color in them, and you'll be a lot happier with your paintings. They won't be so light, they'll be very vibrant. So look for ones that aren't washable. They just won't say anything. Unfortunately, what I've seen here at our Walmart in town is only washable. So if that's what you can get, just use it. Don't worry. All right, so for paint, your paint will come with a brush. So you need a paintbrush to paint with. I like to have a couple of different sizes, like one for larger washes and one for detail work. Remember, we called this one the Detail Diva in class because of her point. Remember, your ballerina brush, take good care of it. It will last you a long time if you do. If you don't, it will not last you very long. All right, to hold water in, to rinse my brush, I just have this really old cup that got the handle broken off of it. I think my daughter broke this when she was a baby. And instead of throwing this away, I just glued the handle back on. The actual cup did not get broken, so I was still able to use that. So it just has a glued on handle. Recycle, right? Reduce, reuse, recycle. You can do it. All right, last thing I found was a set of colored pencils. Now these are a little bit nicer. I also don't have my student grade colored pencils from school, but we can use these. So just a set of colored pencils, whatever you've got will work. Crayola, they're pretty good. These are, I think it's pronounced Crayons. I'm not 100% sure. These are actually water soluble, so when you get them wet, they melt. Prismas are good. They're very expensive, but they're pretty good. Prismacolors. Crayola works fine. All right, guys. So when you have some of these things together, you can start to do projects. So we're going to go ahead and start with a project today, and you're just going to need paper. A piece of paper here. And you're going to need some watercolors, but if you don't have watercolors, you can definitely do this with a crayon. As a matter of fact, I think I'll do it with a crayon first and show you, and then we'll do it with watercolor. So here's my favorite color, turquoise blue. So I'm just gonna start by making a mess. Just making a scribble. Then I'm gonna get my pencil or my pen. I'm probably gonna use a pencil. And I'm gonna look for an animal in this scribble. And I think I see one right now. I see a little rabbit ear here. We have a rabbit at our house. Her name is Gravy. She's very, very sweet. She's also very, very ornery. You can put an eye here. Even if you don't see like the eye, you can still draw it there. It doesn't have to be there in the scribble for you to make it there. This scribble is just a very loose way for you to kind of have some fun. I see a little bunny head. And then down another, and that maybe this is her other ear right here. And bunnies have the cutest little noses that are always wiggling. They have really big eyes because they are prey animals, and so they need to be able to see really, really well. There you go, there's a bunny. Let's do a couple more with the crayons. That was kind of fun. Let's do orange. This time I'm gonna get really messy. I'm just gonna kind of go crazy. This is what's so fun about this. Okay. This one might be a little bit more challenging. see. You might have to turn your paper a couple of times to find something. This one's a little bit harder. I think I see something with two legs here. So let me just go ahead and draw the legs. Maybe it has a long tail. Let's give it a tummy and a back. And it's just gonna have a short little head. Let's give it two little ears like this and a little short head. You don't even have to have like a real animal, because I don't think this is a real animal. It kind of looks like a rhinoceros without a horn. There you go. And it's got a really long tail for some reason. Okay. All right, let's do one more. Get that where you can see it. Let's do a red. Or no, let's do yellow. Yeah, I like this yellow ochre. Like these earth colors a lot. I'm gonna actually close my eyes and do some of this. That'll make it kind of fun. There we go. Okay. Let's see what I can see. Got to turn my page a few times. I don't know what this thing is. So here's what I do. When all else fails and I can't find an animal, I make an elephant, which I know sounds really corny, but you can make an elephant out of almost anything, it seems. So here's my elephant face and my ear. And obviously I don't have an elephant nose coming out of this, so I'm just gonna have to make one myself. Give it a little trunk. Oh, that's cute. Maybe it's a baby elephant. Oh, yes, it is. It's telling me it is. It's got just a few little hairs, like that little baby elephant on the Jungle Book. And we'll give it some little sweet eyes with little eyelashes, because it's a baby. There we go. All right. Okay, let's try this exercise with paint. I think that will be a lot of fun, because paint gets crazy. Let me get a new piece of paper. I'll say too, guys, when you're watching these videos, please, just like when we watched videos at school, please feel free to pause. If you're feeling behind, pause it, rewind it, watch it again. It will not bother me. All right, for this video, this part, you're gonna need some kind of a card. And I've got one from Dave & Buster's. You're gonna need some kind of a card. You can get this out of the recycle bin. You can ask your mom and dad if they have an extra card in their wallet they don't want. But you need some kind of a card, because we're going to make a little bit of a mess. So I'm getting my paintbrush wet. Put my water over here. And get it wet, and I just wipe it on the side. If you tap it, you're gonna get water everywhere. Just wipe it on the side. It's not very stable. There we go. All right. Pick a color, any color in your set. Doesn't matter which one, whichever one you want. I'm gonna go with this really dirty orange, mostly because I wanna clean it up. And I'm just gonna put a big blob on my paper, big old, lots of pigment. Try to get lots of pigment on there. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my brush and lay it down. I'm gonna get my card and I'm gonna start scraping and moving that paint around. And just having a good old time with it until I really can't do anything and I'm stuck. So it stops there because this paper is not very thick, and so the paint dries fairly quickly. Then I'm going to use my ballpoint pen to do the next part. So let's see, I'm going to see what I can find in my paper. Oh, I see something right away. At first I kind of saw a bat, like with bat wings down here. I don't know why I've been thinking about bats a lot lately. But then I saw that this kind of looks like porky nose of a pig and some eyelashes and a little pig's ear. Look at that. A little mouth. And this pig has the tiniest feet, oh my God, hooves, in the whole world. A very big belly. And this foot back here isn't going the right way, so I'll just make one. Here we go. And then I'll have to put on the little tail. And there's my pig. Maybe I'll put the other eye right there. Add the other ear. Okay, let's do it with another color. This is fun, you guys. I don't have any preconceived ideas of what I'm trying to do. I'm not thinking, oh, I want to make a kitten, or oh, I want to make a Bengal tiger. I'm just playing and seeing what happens. Let's do 2 colors. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, now let's get our card. Kind of just go all over the place. If you hear weird noises, I do share my studio with my husband, who's working from home right now, and his computer does sometimes go off. Oh boy, that is something. I'm not sure what it is. Again, I'm going to turn and look as I'm waiting on the paint to dry. You have to kind of wait for it to dry just a little bit. I honestly kind of see another pig, and that's okay. If you see the same animal twice, that's all right. This one has a nose to the side, so I can see the front of it. That's pretty cute. And you don't even have to draw the whole animal. Like if you just see the head, you can stop there. There we go. You don't have to draw the whole thing. This kind of looks like a tail coming out though. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, let's do one more. And then you go do this. You go have some fun. I think you'll enjoy this. There's not a lot of stress about being perfect or having to know what you're painting, just playing with the paint. Just playing and having a good time. Okay, getting my power card. So we can have some fun. And scrape the paper a little bit too. Yeah. Okay. I better stop there before I tear a hole in the paper. All right. Again, I've got to turn it and look. Remember, if you can't find something, make an elephant. Or maybe a bear, whatever your favorite animal is. My favorite animal is a giraffe. That's kind of hard to do with some of these. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should have made it really long out here and I could have had a giraffe neck, huh? Ooh, I do kind of feel that this wants to be a zebra. I don't know why. Maybe I think it's all these scratchy lines, you know what I mean? Those are a lot of fun. Now, I obviously don't have a zebra head. I'm gonna have to kind of imagine that in my head, and forgive me if it looks more like a horse. I'm not really used to drawing zebras. Well, it's something. That's okay. I know zebras have their mane stands up. Their eye is closer up here. Put some stripes on there, and we have these wonderful stripes down here. There we go. There's a crazy zebra. Okay, guys, well, you get the idea about what to do. It works for crayon. You can even do colored pencils. We had a rabbit, some kind of weird hippo. And remember, we just did an elephant because, hey, why not? And you can do it with your paint. We had 2 pigs and a zebra. So you just add on to it until you find something that you like. Remember, you don't have to draw the whole animal. You don't have to see the whole animal. You can just draw parts of it if you just want to see the head, or maybe you just see a tail in there. Hey, why not, right? Yeah, so. All right, guys, I will be back hopefully very, very soon. I have to figure out all this YouTube stuff so I can post videos. We'll have a studio tour coming up, and we'll do lots more fun things. I love you all. I miss you. And we're going to art through this together, because no matter what, we just got to keep calm and art on. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.